So in the last video, we created these drums here. Sounding pretty nice. If you've not seen that video, go and watch that video, please. Just as a reminder, this is what the song sounds like. In this video, we're going to be going through how do we make, first of all, basses and then the vocals. So the bass and the vocals together sound like this. So you got two basses going on there. You have one bass, which is the woo, which I'll show you how to make, and then the sub bass, which is the womp womp womp, which I'm also going to show you how to make. And all of that is covered in this series, so you don't want to miss any of this, guys. You want to subscribe, you want to turn the notifications on, leave a like, maybe a comment. You know, I like reading them. And yeah, that's what you want to do. So I found this really nice TikTok kind of like a cappella thing, which is this. And I thought that would make a really nice sample. So I've just gone ahead and downloaded it, and it sounds, well, you just heard it. I'm going to put a tuner on quickly just to find out what key it's in. Seems to be an E minor. We're gonna run with E minor and hope. This bit here is really nice. And I'm thinking like it could go like sort of that kind of effect. So the way that you do that is you go to beats, use this little arrow that points forward here, and then just pull it back. And then you want it to be on like eighths or 16ths, usually sounds good. But in this case, it's gonna be eighths. But I'm actually gonna turn this off for now. So this bit here, that'd be nice as like kind of like a side bit, you know, like at the end. So that could go maybe like here. So it's like a nice kind of like low bit, because then we're just gonna have this loop in. Whoa. We'll put that in a sample and we'll sort that. So that's a nice whole bit there and that bit there. All right, cool. So we have all of these like nice bits to work with. So what have we got? So I think if it was just cut off here, and then we want another one here. What's this? I think if this bit was... Oh, actually, maybe I don't want that sort of effect on all of it. Maybe I just want it on some of it. Yeah, I think that sounds pretty nice. What's this? This is the male choir. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sampler in here, and then I'm going to drag in this bad boy. I'm going to have it on this sustain mode here. It's going to repeat. Make this a whole length. Click legato to make your life easy. So it's just, we don't want this bit here. Yeah, so if you put this double mode on, it then gets rid of that little annoying clip at the beginning. So that sounds quite nice in the background, I'm going to assume. It's just this bit here seems a bit out. Right, let's get some effects on here. So I think, first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to put on a vocal chain, and then we're going to have a dry, and we're going to have a wet. So then we want a reverb, we want a delay, we're going to want a Valhalla. What else are we going to want in here? That'll probably do for now. And before we get to any of this, we're going to cut out some of this annoying low end. So let's start with the Valhalla, which, by the way, is a free plugin. You might as well download it. And the one that I really like for this kind of thing is the medium massive vocal. You know this by this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to listen to each effect on solo to begin with to see how insane it sounds. That sounds pretty goddamn nice. Oh, I think what I'm going to do before all of this is I'm going to put on a wider just to make it a bit wider so it fills out the stereo thing. Right, let's put on a slight delay. So we want this to be like, again, on 100%. I want it to be like quite slow and mismatched. Oh, that sounds cool. Just a standard reverb, just to kind of fill it out a little bit. Give it a low cut. Not as much. Right, how's it all sounding together? Right, this is way too much. Turn the feedback down a bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these down, and then I'm also going to put them like down an octave. But I'm just going to put it on Complex Pro. The volume is a bit annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to automate this down with a gain. And then I'm going to do the same here. Now, there's a comment once upon a time about how do you curve these automation lines. And the way that you do that, you just hold Alt. And it gives you these sexy little curves. I don't know what it is on Mac, but it's one of the left keys. Just another little pro tip. Bing. Right, let's put a bass in here. Now, let's see if you guys can win some points. Yeah, if you can guess what song it's from before I tell you, then let me know in the comments and you'll get a prize. Yeah, the prize will be immaterial. It will be priceless. Yeah. So you'll just have to find out. So what we're going to do is we're going to use two basic shapes like this. And then on one of them, we're going to push the fine up 100. Ooh, this is looking fancy. We're going to turn the random down on both. And then on the envelope, we're going to give it a touch of attack. Maybe like 40, 50 milliseconds. That was a clue. We're just going to push the attack slightly. On the filter, we're going to push the cutoff all the way up and just give it a bit of drive. Oh, do you know what the song is yet? So, have you won a prize? You're absolutely correct. It is the break remix of Bristol by Technomatic. Very, very good song. Very, very simple, but very, very effective. So we know that it's in E minor. Oh yeah, that could sound real nice. Maybe this E actually wants to go here. And this one wants to change here. Let's actually find out what note's being played. It looks like it wants to be F or F sharp. There's a few more edits that we're going to do on this. So first of all, we're going to put it in mono. We're going to give it a tiny little touch of distortion, just to give it a bit of weight. And that's basically it. I mean, it is the world's simplest bass. And then that can go up here. I wanted to give it like a little bit of release as well. Maybe a bit of like portamento. Oh, turn the release down a little touch. Back down to like 150. I think it sounded alright. Maybe we want another bass in there. Let's see what cool stuff we can come up with in Serum Shock. Right, so we're going to use a basic sine. We're going to use another basic sine. And hopefully we're going to be able to make some pretty complex things. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all of these harmonics here on the second oscillator. And then on the third and the fifth, we're going to make it look a little bit like that. We're going to turn the level all the way down on this. We're going to turn the random off of both. And then we're going to FM from B. And using a macro, this is how we're now going to control it. So when we play this, so we're going to put on some hyperdimension, some distortion, a bit of chorus. We're going to put on a bit of reverb. We're going to put on an EQ and a compressor. I'm going to go through these one by one to show you just how great this can be. So this macro is going to be used on pretty much everything. So we're going to put it on the hyper dimension mix, but we're going to turn the hyper mix down. On the drive, we're going to put this again like that. The chorus, we're going to put as a low pass, oh sorry, a high pass filter, and again. Sounds pretty insane. Exactly the same on the reverb, but we're going to put the low cut up a little bit. Probably good if I actually turn these on. Now this is where things get really interesting on the EQ. So we're going to put them both on the notch. And you can see that when we play around with the gain, that's where like some interesting things start to happen. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this the other way so that when it plays, it's going to push it down. And then on this one, we're just gonna put it like that. All right. And then we're gonna turn it on. And then we're gonna put the macro on this filter, on the frequency. And we're gonna do exactly the same on here, but in reverse. That sounds real nice. But what we are going to do is we're going to control this macro. So what I've done is I've just raised this up 1 octave so that it gives us a bit more oomph. And then I'm putting these kind of like little filter envelopes or these little modulation controls. Oh yeah, the other thing that I've done is I've added in an LFO on the level at 1.5 T, which I think stands for, yeah, trip, with this kind of shape, so it sounds like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to process these simultaneously. I'm going to create 2. One's going to be low, and the other is going to be tops. So it's already mono in Serum, but the low is only going to take care of the low. So we're going to put a low EQ on, and then cut out all the top. Just like that, and then we're going to sidechain out the kick. And then on the tops, what we're going to do is we're going to replicate this. So that is at 90 hertz. So we're going to cut out everything below 90 with this harsher little guy here. And then this is where we're going to add in all of our effects. So we're going to use a bit warmer. We're also going to use a bit of reverb, a little bit of overdrive, and we're going to put that before the reverb. Turn the drive down a bit. Sounding quite aggressive. I wonder what happens if we just cut out, just make it like really harsh in the middle. Oh. Oh, that sounds better. Just having this tiny, like cutting out all the high end basically. So I'm even gonna give it a bit more oomph in the macro just to see how it sounds. So what was that on? That was on 36, 36. Oh. Oh, that sounds really nice. Oh my God, I'm actually loving this. So it probably feels like I'm about to start making all of these amazing mid-bass elements. I've already started playing around with the different effects that can be used, but that's going to be in the next video. We're going to go through how do you make all of these lovely little mid-bass grunts and growls and whatever that sound like this. That is a nice phrase. So that's what's covered in the next video. How do you take the sub bass so that you've got consistency with your sounds? Then how do you turn that into all of these lovely mid bass grunts? You're just gonna have to wait, guys. I'm afraid you're just gonna have to wait. So if you've enjoyed the video, then do leave a like down below. If you've not subscribed already and you're one of those kind of X percentage of people who hasn't subscribed, then you know what I mean. Just go ahead and do so. And yeah, I think that'll do it for today. So cheers.